and welcome into the Pain and Panic podcast. I'm Chris Reynolds, joined by Adam Sheets, doing our normal Monday episode, recapping some of Sunday slate of football, and also now Saturday, Adam. We have some games on Saturday, and also some big college games, and little pre-Christmas preview. Adam, how you feeling after today's games?
I feel great. I'm a little tired. Had a long night. Went up to visit my boy Mac this weekend. Watched his hockey team get a dub. Home dub for the Elmira Aviators in overtime. I had to be a little careful. See, at those type of hockey games, I'm very outspoken. Like to let the refs know how I feel. But there was like a 3-year-old girl sitting in front of me. So I had to take myself. Like the first goal was from my favorite player on the Elmira Aviators. Shout out Andrew Horn if he's watching. So I was going to yell something when he scored. You know, the guys call him horny, so I'm like, oh, I was going to yell something. But the little girl was in front of me. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And then one of the referees' names was Small. And I had a lot of compensation jokes.
All right, Adam. I'm very happy you did not say anything in front of the 3-year-old.
Yeah, I had to behave myself. But a big win for the Aviators. But Mac, shout out, got me this nice Jags sweatshirt, which really worked out today. It's the Jags. It's going to clinch the division. If Chris is upset picking Geno Smith, and the boys would have pulled one out. But
I know. Well, getting to now our slate. I mean, most at this point now, we only really need to figure out this, like the seeding. But I think we know the playoff picture. We've been previewing it for a few weeks, but It looks like we could say bye-bye to a few teams. Moment of silence for the Detroit Lions. Not officially eliminated, but they need the Packers to lose out, and the Lions would need to win out. Not likely, maybe if Jordan Love can't play a game, but Packers have, more winnable games than the Lions do. So probably the end. And I will say this too, that the ending was insane. And they scored multiple times, and then they called back, and then Amon-Ra had that touchdown, and we're like, I was celebrating. And
so they never said who scored. Was it Amon-Ra, or was it his lateral to Jared Goff that scored? They never decided. They just said the rolling on field a touchdown. I was like, who scored?
So Amon-Ra didn't get in.
And
then they blew the play dead. So then, technically, the Lions should have had another chance at it, because the time didn't hit 0 yet. But then I guess they said touchdown, meaning that Goff would have been the one that
like the lateral was clean and Goff ran it in. That's what I was lost because like my mom was running the sweeper during this point.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Adam, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the refs knew either. I think they got the call right, and that it shouldn't be a Lions touchdown because, 8 things went wrong in that play. Amon-Ra did just chuck a guy, but
poor Jalen Ramsey.
It looks like their Lions season is done. I'm gonna get to more on the Lions later, but that's a big loss.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite teams to watch. Kind of stink not having a fun offense, just missing out.
That's a tough loss. You got to find ways to win. Aaron Rodgers still owns the NFC North. Could beat the Packers.
It's insane. That catch to Gainwell changed it where just like he was down. And right before half, they ended up with a touchdown and instead of, a punt. So
what did they do against the Vikings this year? I forget.
What did who do? The Lions?
The Steelers. Because I know they beat the Bears. They lost to the Bears. They lost to the Packers. So, but Aaron didn't play against the Bears, so we can rule that one out. When did the Steelers play the Vikings? You can keep talking. I would look for this.
I don't remember that one, but so it looks like the NFC North we're gonna have Packers, Bears, and Lions. But
Steelers won in Dublin. Now I remember.
Oh, right. Yeah, the Carson Wentz. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other division that we're going, or the conference, Ravens. I think if the Ravens right now we're recording during the Ravens game.
Well, Drake May just threw a dot for a touchdown. So
I'm a little behind you. Well, guess what? I have the fantasy. That makes me happy, Adam. We're in our league. We did the stupid 2-week cumulative total. I'm crushing it right now, so thank you, Drake May. But if the Ravens lose today, the Steelers basically won the division.
Yes.
On top of that, Lamar hurt his back today, so it's probably over for the Ravens. Even if the Ravens make it, I don't think they're going to be like...
Stu Huntley played a playoff game before.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Hey, they weren't terrible. Right now, they play the Chargers at home. Possible.
Well, I think the seeding. Let's just jump to the seeding. All right.
All right.
Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. Last team. There's only one unknown.
It's the NFC. NFC South.
NFC South. Panthers pull it off, Adam. We both picked against them. I said I had enough of them. They've been really annoying. Whenever I believe in them, they fail me. Guess what? We give up on them. They win. That's how they are. They're the most annoying team to watch this season. And, as the Patriots convert 2-point conversion.
Yes, they do.
The Patriots Panthers, Can't kill him. Can't take him out. And now, Week 18 decides it, where the Seahawks play the Panthers and the Bucs play the Dolphins.
Not necessarily. If the Bucs lose to the Dolphins and the Panthers beat the Seahawks, it's over. Because they would be 2 games up.
No,
you don't have to look. Chris, the Panthers are 8-7. The Bucs are 7-8. If the Bucs lose to the Dolphins, they'd be 7-9. If the Panthers beat the Seahawks, they'd be 9-7. It would be over.
I don't see. Okay, maybe I just don't see a world where that happens.
Well, I don't see a world where that happens either, but it is possible. The thing is, the Bucs still technically control their own destiny.
But the way that I could see it most likely playing out is, even if the Panthers lose next week to the Seahawks, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because it's really just for 18. Because I'm assuming the Bucs are going to beat the Dolphins. If they don't beat the Dolphins, they don't deserve to make the playoffs
Quentin
at all.
Ewers, baby, Quentin Ewers.
That was a game.
He didn't play horrible today. For a 7th-round pick, he was a 7th-round pick.
There were a lot of problems on the Dolphins side.
Yeah, I know. I know. Sketch was really upset about it. He's like, "Oh wow, Quinn Ewers wasn't good." I said, "I think that was the point. I didn't think they benched Tua because they thought they had this diamond in the rough sitting on the bench. Like, let's go." I think it was like, you know what? Tua could accidentally win us a game. I don't know if Quinn can, so let's just chuck him out there and see what happens.
Well, now we're going to just. I think we know the teams because the NFC now it's just the Packers and just the Bears from the NFC North. I picked the Lions to win that division. Kind of said we'll review at the end of the year. We'll recap what we picked early on. But the NFC South, only real division left up for grabs unless the Ravens can pull this off, and then they'd have to get lucky. The seeding now is going to be very important because the 1 seed in the AFC North and the NFC and AFC both up for grabs, and the 5 seed though in both divisions is going to be in a very nice spot because they get to play the 4 seed, which is going to be the Panthers or Bucks in the NFC. In the AFC, it's probably going to be Steelers. That's a very favorable matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
If I could pick between the 2 seed and the 5 seed, I'd probably pick the 5 seed.
Yes, and that's just you're talking Bills or Patriots. Those are the 2 teams you're talking about.
Basically,
there.
Yeah.
But the problem with it is right now the Bills, I believe, are losing the tiebreaker to the Chargers. So the Chargers are sitting there at 5, who could still also win and get the 2 if they would end up coming back on the Broncos. But
Chargers have a little tougher of a schedule, but yeah.
Yeah, so they're still in it for the division. But right now they're sitting comfortably at 5, and I think Jim Harbaugh's sitting there like, yeah, we'd love to stay right here. We don't want to move.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about some of these other games just to hit on them before we go to college. So Thursday night, Adam, we talked about was Seahawks-Rams game, a lot of playoff consequences.
Yes.
I figured out, by the way, that advancing the ball thing, it was because it was a 2-point play. They were allowed to advance it.
Yeah, dumb.
That one was confusing. Saturday. Adam, how do you feel about the Saturday games for the NFL?
I mean, it's Saturday in the NFL. I don't agree with it. I'm a college football guy, but they were good games. I'm not going to complain. They put them on at the right. They put them on at the right time. The first half was interesting.
Yeah.
They put them on at the right time though. They didn't go up against the close college football game, so they had that going for them. Even though JMU, shout out. We'll get to them when we get to them, but shout out the Dukes. They did something.
College football, baby. But
yeah,
I like the NFL on Saturday because for me, because I don't really care about college, I liked just having a game to have on for fantasy purposes, especially just like, oh, I can watch this game because I'm sure someone has someone I'm playing against or have that game. Mariota got hurt. It just feels like later in the season, once it gets cold, injuries are going to go up more. And also it's the end of the year. So like your body's starting to break down a little bit. Things might be like hurting, but not broken or torn, but then make it worse. And then that game after that, Bears-Packers. This is one of the times where I was like, I really wish we were recording after a game. Because for the first 3 quarters, it was a gritty NFC North game. Wind, cold, neither offense was doing well. Josh Jacobs, I think he got hurt. People say benched. He looked like he got hurt, and then he fumbled.
He put it on the carpet. Can't put the ball on the carpet.
No, he did, but before that, he didn't. He was off the field.
He was banged up coming into the game, so I think the plan was to limit him, and then he fumbled, and then it was like, well, your limit's now going.
He was getting the ball a lot, and then there was one play. I was like, I think he got hurt in that play. He then was out the whole drive, and then the next drive they didn't use him until the goal line where they were like, all right, let's try him in the end zone, and then he fumbled, and then they were like, all right, that was stupid. Let's just not put him back in.
Yep, you're done, buddy.
Once that kind of happened, the Packers had many chances to win that game. That was one of them. To be fair to them, Jordan Love is out. So I don't blame the Packers. Jordan Love gets hurt early in the game. Their defense is missing 3 of their 4 best players. Joe 2 minutes texting us. I feel really bad for him. And the Packers look decimated. And the Bears, though, still could not get anything going. The Packers fought their hard out. But at the very end, the Bears score a touchdown. And I'm like, all right, whatever. That's something little. Then an onside kick.
Well, they kicked the field goal before the onside kick.
They
screwed up the field goal. They screwed it up.
They
kicked it 3 seconds late, and it cost them the 2-minute warning on the other side.
But then you go to the onside kick, and Sketch and I argued about this, our friend Sketch. He said, he's a great onside kicker. And I said, that's fine and dandy, but you still need luck in any onside kick. There's one bad bounce goes out of bounds, and that's a penalty. You know what I mean? So they get the onside kick. It's perfect. It's hard to judge. Should you go in for it? Should you be patient on it? Who knows? Bears get the ball back. And then we get Caleb Williams, who was in a situation to win it in Green Bay 2 weeks ago, throws a pick. This time on 4th down, touchdown.
Great coverage.
Bears tie it.
Great coverage.
Great coverage. Great coverage. Yeah, sure.
Left
Maybe
guy
wide open. Doesn't
he was
matter.
naked in the end zone.
There was probably some miscommunication. But then here's my problem. Brady and Kevin Burkhardt were like, they're gonna go for 2, Kevin or Ben Johnson.
Well, you know why, right? You know why.
I know why, because 2 weeks ago,
Ben Johnson said he was going for 2.
He's gonna go for 2. Here's the difference. 1, that was in Green Bay. 2, the Packers had Jordan Love. They were a healthier team back then. But the Bears had all the momentum. The Packers had Malik Willis out there, no Micah Parsons. They're missing a bunch of guys. I feel like the longer the game went on, the more favor the Bears. And the Packers, they fumbled it on 4th down. It was a weird play.
Yeah.
And then the Bears go down. DJ Moore, absolute dime. Touchdown. Bears win. Great game. And I think that locks up the Bears for the division. And now we'll see. I mean, the Packers, if the Lions won today, they could have been knocked out. But it feels like the Packers are still going to make the playoffs.
You think it locks up the Bears for the division?
Yeah.
You think they're going to go? They got to play the Niners next week. And then they got to play the Lions.
They could lose one game, right?
Yes, because they would be tied. They'd finish
Or
12-5.
They wouldn't be tied because the Packers have the tiebreaker.
I'm talking about the losses. They can't be. The Packers can't tie with anybody because they have that stupid tie. So they would both have 5 losses, but because it'd be 11-5 versus 12-5, it would be the Bears. So they can lose one. They can't lose both.
Yeah. And so the Bears just have to beat the Niners, which
or the Lions.
Good game, or the Lions, but the Lions won't have anything to play for. And then the Packers, though, they have the Ravens and then at Vikings. It's possible, but like if you win this game, you could win the division. If they lost this game, I don't think there's any chance.
Yeah, you never know. There's always they could fumble it around. It's the Bears. They'll find a way. The game's going to be close. It's going to be close every time.
One of my big takeaways I was saying, you guys, was like the Rams, not the Rams. My gosh, late recordings had them kill me. At 1 o'clock. I have like screens everywhere. I'm keeping track of every fantasy thing, every game I want to keep track of. And then by the time we're done, I'm just like done. And now there's a baby involved that I'm like lifting and, helping watch. It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot, man. But the Bears, that was a big win. But it could have easily not gone their way. And we'd be here like, wow. In a game where Jordan Love gets hurt, no Micah Parsons, the Bears lose this game. They're always going to be the little brother. And instead we're like, wow, Caleb Williams is that guy. The Bears changed the whole tied in that whole relationship, blah, 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 blah. All right. Next one.
Well, hold up. Let's talk about it a little bit here.
Okay.
The Packers should not have lost that game.
I agree.
You're up 16-6 with like 2.5 minutes left. Win the freaking game. Romeo Dobbs, you're on the hands team for a reason, buddy. Catch the ball.
Yeah. Good point. I feel like every onside kick is just, it's not even the hands. It's just like, the indecisiveness of him. You could tell he was like, should I wait back on it? Then they might drill me if I go forward. I don't want to go in front of the 10-yard line. You could just tell. And the moment you're in that no man's land, it's over.
Well, I forget the exact rule, but I think most guys now have been intentionally hitting the ball out of bounds because it's a penalty, but you still get the ball.
Could have done that too.
Yeah, just like go up and just smack it out of bounds.
I think he was afraid of getting drilled because that ball was floating in midair, and if he waited just right there for it, he was afraid of getting hit after.
You're gonna take a shot, buddy. You gotta take one for the team sometimes. You win the division. And now they're going to be sitting. Now they're going to be sitting. They're going to play a road playoff game, probably against. They'll probably be the 7 most likely. So they're probably going to have to go play. Oh, who's going to be the 2? No, they'll probably have to go play the Bears again, or the Eagles. But the Bears would have to. Nah, it's pretty much impossible because the Bears have the tiebreaker. If the Packers would win the division,
we talked
the
about
Eagles
this,
could jump
Adam.
them,
It's
but-
really hard to beat a team 3 times. Maybe the Packers lost on purpose so that if they play the Bears again,
Yeah.
It's 1-1, it's even. I think it happened. But when they were winning 2-0, it's a really bad spot, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, no, it could be tough though because if they have to play the Bears again and the Bears beat them, then Ben Johnson's I really enjoyed beating him 2 times a year quote's going to go really hard.
Well, that's all I have on that game. Anything else about the Bears?
No, Caleb looked really good. Shout out because everyone's talking about the Packers injuries. He was without his number 2 and number 3 receiver in that game.
Yeah.
No Luther Burden, no Ruma Dunze.
I think it's a little different because Roma Dunze, when healthy, was doing nothing for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
He was doing nothing. And
Well,
Luther
they were really
Burden, I think, is a
throwing the
nice
ball.
little piece, but Zacchaeus, I think, is a solid replacement for him.
Oh, he had so many drops. Bothered me.
He
I'm like,
actually played a terrible game.
Why are we throwing the ball to Olamide Zacchaeus?
It was great earlier in the year, then he really fell off.
Max sitting there as he's a former Eagle. He's like, we love Olamide. I said, yeah, but he can't catch the freaking ball, buddy. What are we doing?
That's fair.
Looked like Jalen Naylor today, who could not catch the ball at all.
No, but he did last week, though, for the Vikings. They were
Yeah.
great. All right, rest of the games, we'll just kind of go through. Bills at Browns, an oddly close game, and one where Browns lost Quinton Judkins, dislocated ankle, broke his fibula. That was tough because he looks like their best offensive player. Him or Fannin are great. Shedeur played, I thought, a really good game. Josh Allen did not get much going today. James Cook, though, was great. And the Bills just kind of squeaked this out.
Yep, it's a classic Bills 1 o'clock win.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, really close to that sack record. I don't know about you, Adam. I don't really believe in the 17-week records, like 17-game record. You have to get it within 17 weeks, 16 games. That's how records have been for forever. If it's a guy like Cooper Kupp who gets it, but then it's in the 18th week, I don't count it. It's not fair.
I'll tell you, I think Mike Tomlin is going to triple team him next week. Because you know who is tied for the record?
TJ Watt.
He's not going to let him beat it against them. It also would be poetic, though, if he did, because when Strahan set the record, it was when Brett Favre famously took a dive, it looked like, and just kind of fell to the ground, and that's how he set the record. So it'd be like, oh, another Packers great quarterback just gets sacked for a guy to set the record. But,
well, I
it'll
think
be interesting to see.
I think the Strahan one's ridiculous, and I'm happy, and I want that to get passed because I hate that whole thing. The Myles Garrett sack today, I think it should count as a sack, but Josh Allen ran backwards like 20 yards for no reason, just kept running.
Throw the ball away, buddy.
He ran in front of Myles Garrett, and then just like realized he was about to in the end zone, so he just dove on the ground at the 1. And then a different Browns guy technically touched Josh Allen, but then the NFL was like, well, he gave himself up right in front of Myles Garrett, so Myles Garrett gets credit for half the sack. And I'm like, then shouldn't he get the full sack if that's what I don't know.
Yeah, so he sits, I believe let's see, where does he sit? Did they give him half a sack? Yeah,
they give him half. So he's at 22. He's at 22. He's half a sack behind. One good sack against Aaron gives him the record. That'd be cool. Next matchup, Chargers at Cowboys. I was excited for this one. It was very underwhelming. Herbert, 300 yards passing. They went 34-17. At the end of the game, the Chargers, it was 4th down. They're at like the opponent's 20, and they just 4th down. They just took a knee and then gave the ball to the Cowboys. Like, yeah, we know we won. All time, just like, big move. Like, hey, we don't even need this field goal.
Yeah, Cowboys had nothing to play for because the Eagles had already clinched the division yesterday, so it was kind of like a meaningless game for them, and they played like it. So
yeah, we'll see what they do next week. But George Pickens had a good game. Next one, the Chiefs cannot catch a break, even when they're losing and done. They're just done. Gardner Minshew tears an ACL, so now they're going to go to their 3rd string quarterback. Titans. They did lose to the Titans. I believe that was your pick, Adam, correct?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I predicted this. Spot on.
I think that was the right pick. I was like, maybe if Minshew's okay, then he gets hurt, and the whole game was just ridiculous. Now to my upset pick, we're just going to jump time.
Hey. Maybe
I just want to say.
What if you said they can't catch a break? That was the best thing to happen to the Chiefs today. Them losing out is the best. Yes, them losing out is the best thing that could possibly happen to Kansas City. So,
well, a team that refuses to lose are the Saints. They are in a win streak now. They beat the Jets 29-6. Tyler Shuck is playing himself into a starting job next year. And here's
300-yard club. 300-yard club.
You can't draft a quarterback now and start him right away. because if Tyler Shuck is playing this well, I know it's against terrible teams. I'm not saying he's actually good. I'm just saying, what's the point of even playing him if he plays great and then you don't start him next year? You know?
Yeah. He's going to be your starter next year.
So like, he's earned it to where the Saints don't need to draft a quarterback right away. Maybe they could be bad again for another year. Try to get another offensive lineman. I don't know.
Man,
but the
wait
Jets,
for Arch Manning. Wait for Arch Manning. He's going back for 1 year. So
the Jets were terrible. And also, too, the Saints don't get a lot of sacks usually. And they had like 8 or 9 sacks this game. It was atrocious. Atrocious for the Jets. Cincy at Miami. Dolphins don't have a defense. Yeah, Cincinnati killed them. Any other thoughts?
Nope. T. Higgins looked good. Jamar looked good. Joe played decent. So, meaningless win. That's going to hurt the draft position for Cincinnati.
Yep.
Let's
also, watching this Patriots game real quick. I don't know how he just let go of this ball. It was also like pass interference. He tackled him before the ball got there.
Yep. Too bad,
just
buddy.
Threw the ball.
Had to decide. I kind of need the Patriots to lose this game, so good job, buddy. Jags still have a chance at the 1 seed if the Patriots lose today.
True. Next one. Vikings at Giants. 16-13, ugly game. Jackson Dart was terrible.
JJ got hurt.
Not a fun game to watch.
Yeah. There was a funny part. I feel bad because I like this guy. But so JJ McCarthy, my boy, he threw a pick 6 right off freaking Jalen Hiller's hands. And then Abdul Carter lined up off sides. I was a little upset that Fox never gave us the view of him actually lined up off sides.
No,
so I'm like, was he lined up off sides? You just keep saying he was. But yeah, so poor Abdul Carter. He ended up getting half a sack on the very next play. So he helped his stat sheet, but they ended up losing by 3, and that would have been a big swing. So
yeah, that was bad. I noticed that. And I was like, I didn't even see him offsides. There was one the other day. Who was it? Was it Commanders Eagles? Yeah, Commanders Eagles. They said the wrong guy. I think they said the wrong player was offsides.
Yeah.
On the field goal. I think it was just the wrong player because I think someone else was. But then the Eagles missed the field goal anyways. It was pretty funny. Like a ball
Jake
line
Elliott.
moment.
Jake Elliott.
It was rough. Next one, the last of the 1 o'clock games. Bucks at Panthers. We already talked about it.
Yeah. Good game.
Bucks.
Really good game.
The Bucks need a win. They have all their guys back. Ibuka's doing nothing though, to be honest. But like Mike Evans was back. They have.
He led them in receiving today.
Mike Evans was good.
Ibuka led him in receiving today. 1 catch for 40 yards.
That was their most receiving yards. Oh my gosh! Well, I see McMillan led all players in receiving yards.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Terrible. And now
good game. Hey, shout out the Meow Mix podcast. Keep bringing them up. They could be playoff bound. You're talking about you can't kill the Panthers. You can't kill that podcast. They gave it up early in the year, but they came back, and this team's coming back. Shout out Bryce Young, baby. Come on now.
I think the 4 o'clock slate today was really good. Had a lot of fantasy implications for me, at least. Jacksonville at Broncos. Adam, your team, the Jags. Trevor Lawrence. And listen, what I said was. And I know you're not talking about me, but you were saying...
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Bill Simmons and Kevin Wilds.
What I was saying was Trevor Lawrence had a great 3-game stretch against 2 of the bottom 5 defenses in the league, and then a beat-up Colts team that was just dying at the time. What I said was, he looks great. He's doing what he has to do. This is the test. Like that. Those were some quizzes. This was the real test. He was awesome.
Yep.
You talk more about it. This is your team, but
yeah,
tell me about
dominated. First off, screw the NFL. Out here, we had this big game, 10-4 versus 12-2, and they didn't even hype it up. It was a regional coverage game. You had to find it somewhere. It wasn't nationally televised, so screw the NFL. But anyway, this was a phenomenal game. It was really good early, back and forth, and the Jags kind of pulled away a little bit. The Bo Nix and the Broncos kind of lost it in the third quarter offensively. But it was a really good back and forth game. And Trevor, as you mentioned, he was great. He had 4 touchdowns. He's now up over the last 4 games, as you mentioned, 14 touchdowns, no turnovers. He's actually 3rd in the NFL in total touchdowns. So, I mean, he's worked his way into potentially being a top 10, like towards the bottom of your ballot MVP vote when you go down to that 10th spot. You're like, oh, but Trevor, because the Jags are winning a bunch of games, and someone's got to be on there from him. But he was great. Parker Washington had the best game of his career. He's honestly their best receiver. He had 6 catches for 145 yards and a touchdown.
Every big play was Parker Washington.
Yeah. The one he threw to him when they were running the screen to ETN, and Trevor read it beautifully and threw it to him on the other side. He just stopped on a dime. Riley Moss went flying out of bounds, and he took it like 60 yards. I was like, oh boy. Parker's here to play. It was really fun to watch. The Patriots just scored. So there you go. But yeah, no, it was a great game. The Broncos still kind of weird. Like offensively, they're still hot and cold. And I mean, I'll tell you, I did not expect the Jags to come in and score 34, but that offense is humming right now, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They weren't even able to run the ball consistently today, and Trevor was still able to work. So great win. I think, like I told you this today, I'm still a little weary. I'm not ready to get hurt again, but I think you got to start to believe in this team a little bit, even though I'm sure everyone will be talking on talk shows tomorrow, and the Jags might get 2 minutes total. So
I do think just partially there is just, you don't want to dethrone the Bills. They've been good for so long. The Broncos all season, we've kind of known they're at the top. The Jags weren't getting any attention for the first half because the Colts are running away with that division. And then the Texans are kind of like the fun defensive team. And the Jags are just kind of there. And I don't know what to do. They're not a, big market. I don't think they have any real, interesting star players. Trevor Lawrence, maybe 3 years ago, would have been really fun to talk about. I don't think he's that fun to talk about anymore. But you know what, Adam? I think that helps teams.
Yep. They love being the first of all, I mean, they have the guy who might be coach of the year. Liam Cohen's been phenomenal for what they've been able to do. For what the Jags were, they were last in every category last year to now be near the top 5 and all, top 10 in most categories. They're a really balanced team, which I think makes it hard to pick. With the Texans, it's easy because their defense is so good. You're yep, we'll watch them for that defense. But with the Jags, it's kind of the defense is good. They take the ball away, but there's nothing that really stands out. They're really good against the run. The offense, Trevor's playing really well right now. It started out Travis was playing really well. So it's kind of they don't have anything that really stands out to you. So they're not flashy, but they just keep finding ways to win. So it's been really fun. They have 2 games that seem winnable. We'll see. They clinch a playoff spot if the Colts lose tomorrow. So most likely, I'm expecting that. I think the Niners will get the job done tomorrow on Monday night, but yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. It was a really good game to watch, and we'll see where they go from here. Like I said, they still have a chance of the 1 seed. It's now looking a little less bleak, but if the Patriots lose a game and the Broncos lose a game and the Jags win out, they're all 13-4, and I don't know how that tiebreaker would work. But when they talk about the Jags just being good late too, everyone always forgets they beat the Chargers 35-6, and it only slightly bothers me. No one talks about that game.
I was looking at the Jags, and I was was that their first win against a team that's gonna make the playoffs? And it was the Chargers. I don't remember that game at all.
They beat the Niners. They beat the Niners.
They beat the Niners, and they had 1 win against the Texans, right?
They beat the Niners. They beat the Texans. They beat the Chiefs when the Chiefs were humming. Who else did they beat? They beat the Chargers. They beat the Colts. They beat the Broncos today. Yeah, so
Broncos, Chargers, Texans are the current playoff teams that they beat. Not a bad year.
No, it's been a really good year. For Jag standards, this is all time.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, if you lose in the first round, pretty disappointing. But if they can actually get
I'm ready for them to lose. Well, because also right now they're screwed. They're the 3 seed, and they're going to be underdogs at home in their first round matchup against the Bills right now if the season ended.
Yeah. I feel like half the time, just the better teams just might have a bad regular season.
Yeah.
But then
Well, because the playoff experience really matters.
Yeah. It's I feel like some teams just take it easy in the regular season, then they end up as the
Well, don't say last year's Chiefs. They went 15-2.
2 years ago, Chiefs.
2 years ago,
was it
yes.
2 years ago? They were
when they were on the road
every game.
Yeah, outside the first one when they played the Dolphins in negative.
They went into Buffalo and won, and they went into
Baltimore.
They went up,
Baltimore. They won 17-10. It was 17-3, and Lamar played awful.
Yeah. Well, next game, Falcons at Cardinals. Not a lot to say. Game meant nothing. Bijan, though, looked great. Kyle Pitts looks pretty good. Drake London came back. First game, he didn't really do much. Trey McBride has worst game of the season. He broke his streak of 5 catches in a game. Falcons are surprisingly good at covering tight ends, which I think is just funny that they have this really unique strength. I don't know.
Back-to-back wins for Kirko. So
yeah, Falcons I think are so fun. They just can't put it together over season. Oh wow, the Ravens just fumbled to the Patriots.
Yeah, this game's basically over. The Ravens do have 3 timeouts, but I wouldn't hold my breath. So with Kirk Cousins, this is basically his NFL careers now if he wants it to be, because he's the perfect backup quarterback. But does he want to be? It's just completely.
He can break down defenses, be a good mentor, good locker room
you
guy.
put him we're watching the Patriots right now. Can you imagine him being a backup for Drake May? Like, come in, handle the offense, be a good mentor. Like, hey, here's how they run the ropes, all this stuff. Yeah, so I think even like with JJ, like, does he want to go back to Minnesota? I mean, it's sometimes weird going back to your old team, but like back up JJ McCarthy. Like, there's some
You
things
could
he
tell
would do.
in the quarterback season when he went back to Minnesota, he just missed it. I think he'd go
Yeah.
back there. That
Yeah,
would be his
there's
first
a
choice.
Minnesota. He went to Michigan State. I don't think he'd like could. Jared Goff's kind of weird, but like he could go there, be like, I want to end in Michigan. But
Back
like,
in
they
the,
give,
I don't think he wants to go to that division. They probably hate him, whereas they love him in Minnesota.
yeah, but I don't
His
think
kids
I don't
all
think
knew Minnesota is like home.
he's going to be a backup quarterback, so I don't think it matters where. Like, it's like what he
I
wants
actually
to do.
disagree. If you're gonna be a backup, just pick where it's fun to live.
Well, yeah, but remember he went to college at Michigan State, so he loves Michigan. Like I think he has a house in Michigan. He has a whole house, part of his house dedicated to Michigan. So he can go back to Washington, try to like bookend his career with Washington, like as a backup quarterback. So
Jameis kind of got it right. Jameis is just like, let me pick a fun area and be the backup in that place because you're at this age, you're not going to try to like have a future as a starter.
No,
Just go where you're gonna have the most fun.
it's where his family wants to be. He's a big family guy. Cole's cash all day. He can get.
Well, his family liked Minnesota.
Yeah,
you saw that, so we'll see Minnesota, or I don't think he goes to Detroit. I don't see it. Maybe he can replace Jared Goff because he's been terrible. Speaking of which, Steelers, we already mentioned, they beat the Lions 29-24. Jared Goff ended up with 364 yards, but some passes were just atrocious. At the end of that game, he's just throwing it into defensive players in their hands, and they just would deflect it. Luckily, they're not picked. He looked really bad, and I said he's kind of like Sam Darnold, where there are just games where I swear he's seeing a ghost. Really tough to watch.
Yeah. I don't blame him. They just refused to run the ball today.
They could not. They could not do it at all.
Yeah, they just refused. I thought at one point, like we were in the fourth quarter, and Jahmyr Gibbs had 6 carries for 5 yards. I'm like, okay, well that's not ideal, but why is he only got 6 carries? Like let's talk about that.
Gibbs had a ton of catches, to be fair, but
yeah, but like just hand him the ball a couple times. Be like, hey, maybe he'll break one. Like maybe.
Yeah, they kind of gave up on running the ball. Now, you know what? That's why I love them because they just are always chucking it in PPR leagues, which I'm usually in. It's fun to have. I have Gibbs. I have him on. Right, just fun.
No, we're not lying. They couldn't run. They were 12 carries for 15 yards. So they threw the ball 54 times.
I think a dump off to Gibbs just works better for them because at least they have other options, or like the dump off to Gibbs is the same as a handoff. You know.
Yeah. Jamison Williams somehow always leads this team in receiving. Somehow.
He always has like 2 catches.
Yeah. What do we think about the DK Metcalf thing?
We'll see what the fan did, but assuming it's not like, oh wow, Drake May gets pushed over and taking a knee. But DK Metcalf, like, his temperament is not known to be the best, so it's very easy that mostly on him. I will say, like, obviously you never do it. And someone came out, like, Schefter reposted it, like, we don't know what was said, and obviously you should never do this, but I'm sure DK Metcalf didn't just go up to a random fan and, hit him after whatever. So, like...
he talked to him for a really long time where I'm like, why didn't... Like, normally the player at that point just walks away. Like, I don't have to stand here and listen to this.
It was a weird decision to go into the stands and like, keep this going, because everyone has to deal with it. Every player has to deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested in what fine that gets because that's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a fine. If they deem it that the fan did nothing over the line, maybe a suspension. But
can Drake May stop taking the knee for -5 yards? He's staying up. He's not 1 yard back. He's 5 yards back.
He's trying to waste more time. I think.
No, I think it's because he was at the 1 and they drilled him after the play. And then I was like, let me lose Christopher some more yards.
Well, now they have him in the shotgun. I
lost 0.4.
Yeah, well, now they got him in the shotgun, so we'll see what happens. No, they handed it. No, he kept it himself. He's going to get positive yards here, Chris. Up to the 20, the 15, the 10. Yeah, so he slides down. So he got another first down for you. He got all his yards back. But, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, it was a good game. Entertaining.
Really good game. That's my thing with, like, we're talking about here with, like, defense and offense. Like, I like a close game, and I like some defensive plays. I like, cool defensive plays. I'm just not a fan of, like, these games where nothing happens for 3 quarters. And, like, the Texans have a fun defense, That Packers-Bears game was not a fun defensive game. It was, like, just grit. And it wasn't even like it was snowing. It was just, whatever. Last game on here we're talking about right now. Any notes on Patriots, Ravens? I think if Lamar is out the rest of they might just hold him out. I don't know how bad the injury is, but Lamar has never been able to come back quickly from an injury. He always looks dinged up when he comes back. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't think I think if it's close, he's not going to play. It was a good win for the Patriots. It was a good bounce back. Things weren't going well early, but they bounced back and find a way to win. Remember last week they were up 21-0 and lost to Buffalo. So kind of a gut check win for this team, and they're going to be on their way to the playoffs. And still, with the Jags winning today, they still have a chance at the 1 seed. So, and they have a much easier path the rest of the way than the Broncos do, because the Broncos, not just the Chiefs game, which is probably going to be easy, but they have to play the Chargers. So
yeah, we'll see. My money would probably be on the Broncos, to be honest, but yeah.
I don't know who has the tiebreaker. I think the Broncos do, but I don't know for sure. Like if they both finish
win out, the Broncos would still have it.
Yeah, so that's what I didn't know. I can't remember who was 1 seed last week. I think it was the Broncos, but.
Well, all right, that concludes our weekly little recap, and now we did our playoff thing. We're going to go to college football. So, Adam, college football round 1 is over. What were your biggest takeaways, predictions for the next round? Anything that surprised you? Just give me your college football knowledge.
Well, the Bama-Oklahoma game was kind of as I thought. I didn't expect it to be 34-24. I didn't expect it to be 17-0, and then Bama stormed back. But, Alabama finding a way to win. Oklahoma remains the team with the most losses without a win in college football playoff history. I believe they're now 0-5 or 0-6.
Wow.
Even date back to the 14 playoff. And they also are the only team that's blown a 17-point lead, and they've done it twice. So
I will say, Adam, Alabama did not look good. I watched the whole first half. I picked Oklahoma, you picked Alabama, and I was like, all right, this was a nice win. And then Alabama comes surging back, and Oklahoma cannot stop it.
Yeah, I saw someone say, and I totally agree with them, the best play in sports might be a pick six. Just the way things go, how much things change on it. It's like, holy crap. And then, the stadium either being, on the road absolutely shocked or, the stadium going absolutely nuts. It's such a cool play. But I think Alabama looked good, found a way to win. Now that we'll see, they have an interesting matchup coming up against Indiana. So Kalen DeBoer becomes the first coach to win a playoff game with 2 different teams, because he won with Washington in the last 4-team playoff and then winning now with Alabama. Miami A&M, hopefully you took the over in this one, Chris. I just hope. I really hope. It was a high-scoring offensive shootout. 10-3, Miami gets the win.
Riveting game.
This game was a lot of fun. You're talking about for 10-3. It was hilarious. Missed kicks, turnovers. It was awesome. It was probably the most exciting 10-3 game I've ever watched. Fumbles. Like I said, there was an interception. Miami's kicker, who was, I believe, a finalist to win the kicker award, went 1 for 4. So it was just awesome. A&M had a big play, and then we're getting down near the goal line. They had to settle for a field goal. It got blocked. It was just super, super fun game that Miami found a way to win on the road. So back-to-back, 2 road teams won. Last year, we didn't see a road team win at all. This year, 2 road teams won. So, and Miami, for people that didn't agree with them getting in, they justified their spot in the playoff by defeating Texas A&M, and they'll go to play Ohio State, which is going to be a tough matchup for them. But
so the whole thing with Notre Dame was apparently people were saying Miami probably took their spot, but they were more upset about Alabama being in.
And they both won.
They both won.
Yep, they both
silenced them right up. And also Alabama losing 17-0, win by 10. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. It's just a game of runs.
But those were the 2 games that we had different picks for. I picked Miami, you picked Alabama. And
we also had a different pick for Tulane Ole Miss. You picked Tulane.
Did I actually?
Yeah, because you were like, I'll pick Tulane. I have a friend that goes to Tulane.
Wow, I can't believe I did that. That was terrible. Did not know that. Well, anyways, talk about Ole Miss and Tulane. Adam, was that a fun game for people?
It was fun to watch because Ole Miss was moving up and down the field. That was fun to see. It was fun to see their offense didn't really miss a beat with Lane Kiffin not being there, so that was fun to see. But it was a dominant Tulane win. It was actually closer than the regular season matchup by, I believe, 4 points. I think they won by 35 in the regular season, 31 in the postseason. So Tulane kept it a little closer. It was also weird because John Semral's already taken a job. And we'll talk about James Madison too. Their coach Bob Chesney already took another job, so it's kind of they're trying to make their staff, but they're also here coach of the playoff, and they should be. You're a group of 5. This isn't like Lane Kiffin going to a conference rival. This was okay, we we understand you're getting a lot more money at this place. Like, you can coach the playoff if you want because you're recruiting different players at your new school anyway. So it was a good win for Ole Miss. They'll now get a rematch with Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then Oregon, James Madison was an interesting game. It was a lot of fun. Bob Chesney, he left everything out there. Oregon pulled away, obviously dominated this game. But after a kickoff debacle by James Madison that pinned them inside the one, down 51 to 27 at this point. They drive 99 yards for a touchdown that really hurt a lot of people because that did cover the 21.5-point spread. So, yeah, JMU covered. They played well for what they were supposed to be. Like, everyone's blaming the teams for being in. It's not the team's fault. Like, they didn't pick to be in. It was the rules. You blame the system, but the teams went in, and I thought James Madison fought valiantly and played probably as well as they could against a team that they were well overmatched against.
Yep. Did not watch Tulane or James Madison play because I figured we'd know the outcome of those. Actually, I didn't watch any of these games besides first half of Alabama, Oklahoma, but yes.
Yeah, figured. What were you at Saturday afternoon?
I was watching Eagles Commanders at 5.
I was at 5. What about noon?
Nothing.
Johnny Manziel skipped being the college game day guest picker. It was Alex Caruso.
Interesting selection.
Well, Caruso went to Texas A&M, so he is an alum.
I know, but you said it's like football. You know what I mean?
Well, there have been basketball players. LeBron's been the guest picker at Ohio State, I think, multiple times.
Really?
Charles Barkley's the guest picker at Auburn a bunch.
Well, that makes sense, though, because he's like, Adam. Well, I'm not a college guy over here, but so you already picked, who was your pick for Oregon, Texas Tech? I forget.
Oregon. I have Oregon going to the national championship.
Okay. I think I picked
That's going to be yes, you did. That's going to be a really good game.
I believe, I have Indiana beating Oklahoma. Did you have Indiana or Alabama?
Indiana. I had Indiana. That's going to be a fun game, too. I think two really good quarterbacks in that game. Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson. Like, NFL-wise, they're two, like, prospects that a lot of people are going to be watching. So
yeah. Ole Miss and Georgia. I had Georgia winning this round.
Georgia.
I believe you did as well.
Georgia. Yep.
Miami and Ohio State. You had Texas A&M, but we both had Ohio State winning this round as well.
Yes, yeah. But that's going to be a low-scoring defensive battle. Miami's defense really good. Ohio State has the best defense in the country, so I think low scoring, but Ohio State, their offense can open it up really against anybody if they're able to. Saying looks really good. Obviously, you have Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate on the outside that are basically unguardable. So that's the New Year's Eve game. So that'll be interesting. That'll get everything started and see how Miami handles. It's interesting because like Miami played in College Station against Texas A&M. Now they're going to go back to Dallas to play in the Cotton Bowl. So we'll see. Kind of flying back to Miami, practice for a couple days, and fly back to the Cotton Bowl. So we'll see how they handle that. But some good matchups. We didn't have any of the upsets we were expecting. Of course, lower seeds won, but they weren't like huge monumental upsets like would have been if Tulane and James Madison. So should have a really fun quarterfinal matchups coming up in the bowl games.
Of Ohio State, Miami, Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Indiana, Oregon, Texas Tech, which game do you think is going to be like the closest? Like, which one do you have the least confidence in your pick?
Oregon, Texas Tech. I think that game's going to be awesome. And I think it all depends because it's all relative because we don't know how good Texas Tech is because if you don't think the Big 12's good, then you're like, oh, Texas Tech might not be that good. If you think Oregon's maybe skated by on an easier schedule in the Big 10, like their big wins against Penn State. They also beat Washington, which is like, they're good wins, but they're not, next level depending on how much you grade atmosphere. So, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. I think Ohio State, Miami's going to be fun, but it's going to be low scoring. I don't know if Miami has the offensive firepower. Georgia, Ole Miss could be fun. But it's just like without Lane Kiffin, that game was a shootout the first time these two teams played. They weren't able to get a stop, so I don't know with Lane Kiffin not being there if that's going to affect things. I don't trust Bama's offense to do it again against Indiana. So,
yep, I agree. Definitely professional analyst for college football.
Did you see people? So Ryan Williams is the sophomore receiver for Alabama. He's also on the cover of College Football 26.
Oh, that's who that is.
Yes.
I like the game, Adam. I play it all the time.
Yeah, some people edited and removed him from the cover because they said since he disappears in the Bama offense, might as well just disappear on the cover, buddy. So, yeah, the other receivers are playing really well. He is not.
All right. Any other college football notes? Any big takeaways, or we covered it?
The only thing I could think about is we were talking about college football today, and we were watching the Browns game, and I see Isaiah Bond in the huddle, and I could always think of the one like TikTok someone made where he was like impersonating Gus Johnson, calling like a college football video game. He goes, "Cut! Isaiah Bond. I say every time I hear him, that's just how I rear his name. I'm like, Isaiah Bond. Because the kid just threw like 3 go routes to Isaiah Bond when he was on Texas with Quinn Ewers at quarterback, and it was like unguardable, and he just would go nuts. That's the only. Every time I see Isaiah Bond, I'm like, and he doesn't do anything really in the NFL.
Well, we're going to wrap up our podcast with a fun little segment of Christmas Day sports games draft. So all the games on Christmas Day, football and basketball, we're going to draft which ones we want to watch this upcoming Christmas. All the options here. Adam and I are going to go back and forth picking which game we'd watch first. So in the NBA, in order of the time, Cavs at Knicks, Spurs at Thunder, Mavericks at Warriors, Rockets at Lakers, Timberwolves at Nuggets. That's the NBA slate. They have 5 games. NBA usually, or at least used to, own Christmas. NFL usually gets, more audience, but the NBA kind of just feels more Christmassy. Yeah. Whereas NFL, 3 games, and this year, Adam, not the best matchups. We have the Cowboys at Commanders, a game that has no stakes for either team. Lions at Vikings, a must-win for the Lions, but even if they win, they're probably going to be eliminated from the playoffs. And the last one, Broncos at Chiefs. Broncos want to win to get the 1 seed, but the Chiefs on their 3rd-string QB, Broncos probably going to destroy them.
Yes.
So, for me, I'm thinking, all right, well, fantasy football, championship week, I need to watch those NFL games, but also, do I want to subject the rest of my family to watching those games? And when they say, oh, does this game matter? I'm going to say no.
Well, Cowboys Commanders could be fun.
Could be fun, but will it matter?
No. None of the games matter. Outside of, like you said, Lions and Broncos, winning could matter and losing could matter, but like in the overall grand scheme of things, it's not changing anything.
No. Well, Adam, I will give you first pick. Last draft we did, you gave me first pick. We'll just go back and forth here.
Sweet, because I thought there was a clear one and I wanted it. Spurs Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the clear number 1. It's going to be a great game. It's a rematch of what was a phenomenal NBA Cup game. These teams play a bunch. I think it's going to be really fun, and I think that's the best game. You were talking about stakes. Really doesn't have much because the NBA season's so long, but it could mean a lot, and kind of see how the Thunder handle. They've struggled with Wemby, so we'll see how maybe what their adjustments look like.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the Thunder have lost 2 games all season, and one of them is to the Spurs. That was their most recent loss in the NBA Cup, and Wembanyama was limited in that game with his minutes because he was coming back from an injury. Mm-hmm. And they just can't guard him. They have an answer for every guard, every forward they can guard. They cannot guard Wembanyama. Too tall.
Plus, a big game for SGA.
Him and Chet are feisty.
Yeah, big game for SGA, too. National stage. Some people are still calling him like a free throw merchant. That if he could just have a good game, it would be big. Maybe try to change that narrative. It won't, but maybe. He'll probably shoot like 25 free throws. So,
yeah.
Give or take.
Do we know the Luka Doncic injury yet? How long, if he's going to play Christmas?
I do not know. Knowing the Lakers, they'll probably hold him out. It's the Lakers.
Well, let's assume he plays for this exercise. Give me the Rockets at the Lakers.
All right.
I don't want to take it for this reason, but it is LeBron James in probably his last Christmas Day game.
Yeah, probably, unless he comes back next year. And if he comes back next year, he'll absolutely get a Christmas Day game. They'll make sure of that.
But this might be LeBron's last Christmas Day game. It means a lot in the NBA. If Luka doesn't play, that's even more time for LeBron. But if Luka plays, Luka, LeBron, and Kevin Durant too. He's older, so it's going to be one of his last Christmas Day games. I think this also is a good matchup. Lakers are in the Western Conference with the Rockets. They're both playoff teams. Mm-hmm. Good matchup, and also I just want to see every big game I could see LeBron in before he's gone.
Would you have flipped that in the 5 o'clock game? I know a lot of people have talked about this. Would you have went Lakers, Mavs, and Rockets, Warriors?
I'm sure they want to have the best games later in the day.
The Lakers needed a home game, so I think that probably changed things because the Lakers were at Golden State last year, so I think they wanted them to get a home game. But I was thinking would you have flipped and been let's put Luka back in Dallas again?
You mean the matchup? So they're
switch the matchup. Put the Mavs, Lakers, and Rockets. If you did
this ahead of the season, you should have put Mavs at Lakers, Rockets at Warriors, because the Rockets played the Warriors in the playoffs.
Yeah,
last year, and then
this
still
year,
KD obvious Mavs, Lakers, Luka stuff,
and KD and KD and the Warriors. So you would have had that again.
That's really,
So that's what I thought. I looked at it and I'm like, do you think the NBA is Man, should we have?
However, it's probably a closer matchup. I think the Lakers are closer to the Rockets, and the Mavericks and the Warriors are like the closest too. So
yeah, I think it'll be a better game. But I think you probably think they're like, man, ratings. Plus, if they were thinking ratings, they would just put Lakers Warriors.
Also, I mean, Flag and LeBron and Luka. I mean, that's still there's a lot of names on there.
Oh yeah, but it's just
it would have worked. I think it would have been actually better. You're right.
Well, you know what they would love to do, which would have put the Lakers and Warriors together, because if Steph and LeBron play, people watch.
But they can't do that because they did that last year, and the NBA has to try to promote some of these younger guys. I'm sorry. I'm with you, Adam. I'm with you.
Most watched NBA game, I think, last year outside of the finals, I think, was Lakers Warriors on Christmas. So even against the NFL, which is impressive, because the NFL games were actually decent last year. They weren't this year's slate. All right, so where do I want to go? You know what? I've always liked these matchups. It's hard for me to pick this, but I'll take the Timberwolves and the Nuggets.
Yeah,
I like that matchup. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a gritty, tough game. It's a little late for me. I don't know if I'll actually watch it. But
I'm not joking. That's my biggest problem. 10:30 p.m., Adam.
Well, they got to give the Pacific Coast some stuff, dude.
No, I know, but like, as an East Coast person, I'm looking at this. If you like actually made me watch one of these games, I'd be like, oh god, like 10:30 Christmas. It's gonna be a long day.
It actually works. It actually works out well for Nuggets fans because like they can like watch the first half of Broncos Chiefs. Hopefully the game's over by then, and then they can go in to watch T-Wolves Nuggets.
And if you have to miss an hour of, the game's probably done at halftime. Broncos Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, plus they'll probably, if the game's still going on, once the Nuggets Timberwolves maybe get to halftime or like timeouts, they might put the game up on the video board like for the fans. So
yeah.
Yeah, so but I think Timberwolves Nuggets. It's always fun. Chris Finch got really fired up the other day and got thrown out in the first 6 minutes of a game. So I like Ant. Ant's really fun to watch. He's must see. So and Jokic.
Yeah, I think Ant's good. I think Ant's losing like the new factor. So now we're just getting like normal Ant. Or if this was like 2 years ago, Timberwolves Nuggets, I think would have done a little bit more for me.
Yeah, but he's. If they would win, he'd be doing all this stuff out. He's like the Grinch. He'd make some weird like saying go with it. So yeah.
All right, now I'm in a predicament because I would love to pick an NFL game.
I would say we've went all basketball so far.
Just none of these games are good.
I mean, there's one I would have absolutely picked, but today's outcomes really hurt me.
If the Lions were still in it, I'm easily picking Lions.
That's not even the outcome. I was thinking about that game, but JJ got hurt today. It could be Max Brosmer. If it was JJ, I would have been all in.
Brosmer is going to throw the ball to the Lions defense.
Hey, speaking of this, when JJ was in the game, him and Jettas were connecting today.
Yeah.
Give credit to that. Credit to that.
All right, All right, we're not going to go on football. We're on basketball once again. Give me Mavs at Warriors, 5 o'clock. Listen. It's Steph Curry, same case for LeBron. He's old, don't know how many of these we got left. Cooper Flag has been playing a lot better. I think in the beginning of the year, it's like, wow, this rookie is going to be so amazing immediately. And then they're not immediately dropping, 35 a game, and we all freak out. But he's, kind of gotten his feet under him. He looks pretty good. Steph is going to be great. The Mavs aren't good, but they can be good on any night, and I think that's going to be a fun players to watch. You have Draymond's probably going to try to attack someone on Christmas. Steph is going to hit a ton of threes, and then we have Cooper Flag and Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Too bad Dylan Brooks isn't on Christmas.
I was going to say the Dylan Brooks stuff when he smacked Curry in the chest, and before that he went at LeBron, and then LeBron tried to alpha dog him, and they couldn't really do it, but then he kind of made the free throws at the end, but he missed 2 of the 4.
That Curry play was so dirty.
It is.
He went up, he missed him. He looked like he was gonna avoid him, and then he stuck his hand out to hit him anyway. That's just.
Yeah, he actually missed him, and then as he was going by him, just stuck his arm out.
He made sure he knew he was gonna be able to avoid him, but he's like, nah, I still want to hit him.
Yeah, I appreciate the NBA being maybe Curry, you didn't punch him, but it was so stupid and unnecessary that they were just get out.
Yeah,
just get out. If Draymond was right there, he would have just completely punched him in the face, and I would have been all for it.
Yes. At least he would have punched an opponent this time.
Yeah.
Not
well, also, too, with the Lakers game, Dylan Brooks is like, LeBron out here on social media doing all this stuff. I don't like it. I'm like, what are you talking about? What is he referring to?
I don't know, man.
All these NFL players like Antonio Brown that have like CTE, you could kind of understand like they just got hit in the head too many times. What is Dylan Brooks' excuse?
Dylan and LeBron have never got along, so I don't.
Well, for Dylan Brooks' reason, he poked the bear or whatever. LeBron then hit a game winner and then knocked the Grizzlies out, and then Brooks had to leave Memphis and he wouldn't do interviews. Like that was completely Brooks' fault. And then now Brooks is like talking bad about LeBron. LeBron hasn't said anything about Dylan Brooks. I don't understand.
You know the worst part is I think Dylan Brooks and LeBron would fit really well on a basketball team together.
Yeah. If Dylan Brooks would threes, LeBron just needs a 3D guy next to him.
Yeah, and then Dylan would be like a pest, which would be nice. Yeah. Like they fit really well, but LeBron for some reason, because the pests always guard him, so like they never get along.
Are you ready for me to insert myself and compare myself to an NBA player?
No.
So in basketball at Penn State, just random runs at the gym. This one game, I was having like one of my best games from three. I was red hot. And this one kid like whispers something to his friend, and then this other kid guards me. Right? He switches on to me, and then literally the first we did like a new game. First shot, I shoot it, and this kid just runs into me after I shoot. Runs into me, does the Dylan Brooks just whack in the stomach, chest area, and knocks me down. He's like, "Oh, sorry, bro," and he immediately is apologizing, and I'm like. That's just was such a jerk move. That was a Dylan Brooks move. Like, oh, this guy, let me just randomly just whack him in the stomach because he's good.
Yeah, I've never understood that on jump shots. Like, I understand the guys driving, so let's put him on the deck and be like, yeah, are you gonna drive hard the next time? Like, I get that, but it's a jump shot.
Yeah, it's like, all right, if you're a big man, you have to own the paint.
Yeah.
If I am 3 feet behind the line and I chuck a three, you should be happy with that.
Plus, I'll give Dylan Brooks a little bit more pass. At least it's an NBA game, not a pickup game at the IM courts.
That's another thing. Oh, if someone's hot, not let me smack them in the stomach because I don't want to lose.
Got to set the tone, boys. Set the tone.
What are we doing here? It was a random game of fives. Anyways, your pick, Adam.
Cavs Knicks. I'm taking Cavs Knicks. Simply on the fact that this one, because between the NFL games, like I said, I would have picked the Vikings because you know my fascination with J.J. McCarthy. But my favorite player in the NBA is Donovan Mitchell. So, if I'm going to watch someone, I'm going to watch my favorite player play. So, there you go.
Just funny to me that the NBA, everyone knows the NFL is going to dominate ratings.
You know what's funny, though? I'll probably watch the NFL games.
Yeah, Adam, I'm thinking that, too. It's championship week. I have games in Amon-Ra. I'm watching Lions Vikings.
Yeah, and I'm gonna watch the Cowboys because something's gonna happen. It's gonna be funny. It's the Cowboys.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put on Lakers Rockets at 8. Then the game at 8:15 is gonna come on. I'm like, I have RJ Harvey. I'll pop over, and I'm not gonna go back.
Are they doing a Disney game again for Cavs Knicks? Let's go.
Oh, what was the theme this year? It was just the Fab Five and Stitch, or I think it was Fab Five and Stitch. I think so. The classic Mickey characters, and then randomly inserting Stitch in.
Well, because Lilo and Stitch came out this year, so he's hot. We're striking while it's iron's hot.
Listen, as someone who worked in Disney, the Stitch merch that
I have my Stitch jersey. I almost wore it this weekend.
Adam, all right, you should actually wear it for the Christmas one. There's so much Stitch merch in Disney already.
Yeah,
the movie came out Came out in 2002, so almost 24 years ago, the movie came out.
Well, they just did the live action.
No, but I'm saying before that.
Yeah.
He was always, the most prevalent merch. Mm-hmm. Then the movie came out, and it was just all right. I'm trying to find not Stitch merch right now.
Well, it's probably because Stitch is one of the few, outside of, Mickey, where, they can market to boys. I think that's kind of their thing, because it's blue, they can do a bunch of stuff.
Boys and girls like him.
Yeah, exactly. He's universally liked. Yeah. Plus, you can put a baby boy in it, and no one's gonna be like, "Oh, wow, weird Disney thing to put a boy into." It's
he's a fun character. It's hard to hate Stitch,
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, Goofy could be annoying to people. Donald might not be someone's vibe.
Yeah,
Stitch, if you either are Stitch or you just love him and adore him because it's cute and funny.
He's awesome.
Perfect merchandise guy. I'd always say Mickey's probably their number one seller, but it wouldn't surprise me if Stitch was too.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. So, Cinderella's probably way up there. Yeah, there's
what Cinderella stuff are they selling?
A lot of baby girls, man.
What are they buying that Cinderella thing?
Elsa.
Yeah, I would say Frozen's probably more of
because all the girls have, Cinderella dresses.
Not Cinderella, honestly. I think it's mostly going to be, Moana and
Well, what can you buy? What Moana dress can you buy?
They have like that orange shirt, and they have like the Moana paddle, and they have so much Moana headbands. They don't really have a lot of Cinderella because Cinderella's not like that. Maybe a glass slipper.
You work there. You know how many kids come up in Cinderella dresses in Cinderella's castle.
Are probably like evenly dispersed.
Yeah.
The most popular is probably Frozen.
And Belle's probably up there. I've seen a lot of the gold dress.
Belle's up there, but each princess has like its own following. The one that's probably most common is Frozen stuff.
Yeah, Frozen's awesome.
That's pretty split. Frozen. There's no competition for Stitch. It's just Stitch.
Yeah, Frozen 2, phenomenal movie. Watched it in theaters. Great.
All right, let's get back to it. NBA, NFL, all the NBA games are gone. Now let's go to the NFL.
You got to go to the NFL. I know what game you're going to pick.
Once again, we did not have to go all NBA first. That's just what happened because the matchups were better. I already mentioned it. Give me Lions at Vikings. There's a chance the Lions make the playoffs, and that means something. And also, Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's two extremely popular fantasy football players that are probably still in it for people. I think that's going to get a lot of ratings. Jefferson is in here. Not that that matters with Brosmer or J.J. McCarthy anyways, but that's some stakes to it.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope J.J. plays because I like J.J. But for me, the last one, I'll take Broncos Chiefs.
Wow.
Here's why. Did you watch the end of the Broncos Chiefs game? Did you watch Pat Bryant?
One?
Did you? No, not Broncos Chiefs, but Broncos Jags today.
Yes, I saw Pat Bryant
dying. Yeah, and surprisingly, I have a good amount of Broncos fans that I know, and I was getting I was like, wow, you had to kill the receiver on the way out. I'm like, I didn't mean to. I'm not signing off on what Monteric Brown did. Like, what are we doing? It was a clean hit. It was a clean hit.
Listen, the game's over. Okay, so like,
it was funny when they picked the flag up. That was funny.
No. So he drills him. And then he picks the ball up as he's lying there next to the ball.
Yeah.
He runs next to his body, picks up the ball. He sees the flag. He's like, oh, man. And I'm like, dude, he's on the ground right now.
Yeah.
Clearly not in a good state. You're up by like 14. You just got to like pick the ball up and just be like, oh, dang.
I called a Pat Bryant game when he was at Illinois. I've watched Pat Bryant play in person twice. So I like Pat Bryant. He's a good player. I have a lot of friends who are Broncos fans. One that works for the Broncos. She texted me and said she's shunning me for a week. So that's not really nice. But anyway, so I'll watch for the Broncos. Plus, the Jags are still in contention potentially for the 1 seed. So this game could be important for seeding reasons. So as a Jags fan, kind of got to tune in a little bit. So that's why I'll take Broncos Chiefs slightly over Cowboys Commanders, which is the matchup with no playoff teams. So
yeah, Adam, I get that. It's important because like the Broncos need to win, but the Chiefs, it's just gonna be so uncompetitive.
You never know.
Who is the Chiefs quarterback after Minshew got hurt?
I think I'm trying to figure how you pronounce it. It's Alodikin, I think's how you pronounce it.
I've never heard of him, and I was on Red Zone today, and obviously they did not have to show a lot of the Chiefs' offense today. So,
I think Chad Henne would come back and play for him. I know he's retired. Let Chad Henne back out
Who would be the most fun guy they could pick up?
Andrew Luck, but they can't.
No. What would make more sense for the Chiefs? Alex Smith.
Yeah, he ain't coming back.
No,
that man died. You talk about dying on a football field. Alex Smith. Ugh.
How about Philip Rivers gets released by the Colts, picked up by the Chiefs?
Can you imagine Sam Ehlinger, who told the Colts no when they tried to sign him off the practice squad, would sign with the Chiefs? That'd just be funny. Now, who else is out there?
Cam Newton. He wants to be there.
Cam wants to play. He was like, I could have done better than Philip Rivers. He's like, I guess we'll never know. Kaepernick, yeah, that's not happening.
That's just a name that I think in 15 years we're still going to be saying Kaepernick, because if he's like, in his prime, sitting on a couch waiting.
The Bengals are out of it. Just let Joe Flacco go play for Andy Reid. Oh, Nick Foles.
That could work.
Yeah, Nick Foles and Andy Reid have a connection. So
Michael Vick?
Michael Vick? Yeah, that ain't happening. And Michael Vick's a coach now.
That was Philip Rivers the other day.
Yeah, but college, it's a little different. It's a little more money and financial stability in there.
Well,
but I think Nick Foles would be interesting. I would have said Carson Wentz, but he's out for the year because Carson Wentz was Mahomes' backup a couple years ago. Yeah. So,
anyways, so that leaves me with Cowboys and Commanders. Yeah.
Actually,
Cowboys.
how about David Gerard? Because the Chiefs had a weird thing of taking former Jags quarterbacks. They had Chad Henne, they had Blaine Gabbert, and they could have took they never took David Gerard. So David Gerard, who's been well out of the league for a very long time.
Well, I like this segment. Your draft. So let's just recap your team. Let us know in the comments if you're watching. Who is the better draft? All right.
Well, they're gonna say you got the 2 football games, and everyone loves football.
No. All right. Who is the better slate of games for Christmas Day? You have Spurs at Thunder, Timberwolves at Nuggets, Cavs at Knicks with 3 basketball, and then you have the Broncos at Chiefs, so 1 football. I have 2 NBA. That's Rockets at Lakers, Mavericks at Warriors, and then the 2 football games of Lions at Vikings, Cowboys at Commanders.
You will clearly win. It's not even close. Look at who you have. You got LeBron. You got KD. You got Luka. You got Steph. You got Jimmy Butler. Who else?
Flagg.
Yeah, Cooper Flagg.
You
got Anthony Davis. You got the Lions. You got the Cowboys. Like, I'm sitting here. I drafted off, what's the best product.
You have the best one because the Thunder. Any game with the Thunder is going to be good.
Yeah, but I'm saying for the people in the comments, they're gonna be like, man, I can't wait to watch LeBron.
Okay, but to be fair to you, you have Wembanyama.
Yes.
You have SGA and the whole Thunder team who's going for
people
history.
hate people hate SGA.
I know, but the Thunder are worth watching just because if you want to make sure they win for the streak.
They are good. They are
for the
good.
record. Yeah.
I got Ant and Jokic. That's fun.
You have Ant-Man. You have Jokic.
Rudy.
I'm not going to give anyone else in that team.
Rudy.
You have Donovan Mitchell.
I love Donovan Mitchell. And I got the Knicks. The Knicks would be my big one.
Anyone else. You have the Knicks with Brunson, so like.
And Cat. People like Cat.
Cat, sure.
Josh Hart. Everyone loves Josh Hart.
Anyone who likes Brunson, I'm just going to lump them all together with,
OG Anunoby.
I don't know if he's bringing in a group of people.
Should have won NBA Cup MVP. Glad have been scoring in the title.
And then
Come on,
you have the Chiefs, Adam. You have Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs. None of them are playing.
True. But then you also have the Broncos, and
Can you imagine if Travis just went, nah, I'm good. I have other things to do on Christmas. I'm just not showing up.
You do have Travis Kelce's last Christmas game.
Yeah, probably. He's saying he might come back for another mediocre season.
He's saying he's keeping it with just the locker room, but we know he was retiring last year if they won.
Yeah. But hey,
I don't think you can't go 2 more years after that. You could get 1 more season.
My thought would be if he comes back as kind of like what Gronk did, where it's like come back and it's like I'm not gonna really do anything. Like Gronk came back mid-season.
Coming in the red zone on 3rd downs.
Yeah, be like, look, draft a tight end to be my replacement, and I'm just gonna play situational, where it's like 3rd and short. I'm like Mahomes, guy he wants to be just easy to look at. So. Yeah, situational. I could see him maybe do that and be like, I'm not going to take the hits, limited practices, but situationally, I'll be there. I could see that if he's like, oh, maybe the Chiefs could somehow win a Super Bowl next year, just run it. So it's like I could get my chance to walk it off. So
I think he should just retire, and if the Chiefs are ever going into the playoffs, he should just come out of retirement.
Yeah, but remember, if he retires, then he has to spend all his time with Taylor Swift. That didn't work for Tom Brady. Is it going to work for Travis Kelce?
Well, Tom Brady left 2 weeks.
Yeah. He's like, I'm done. I'm back.
All right. Well, that concludes our draft. Now, let's go on to our pain and panic of the week. We're almost done. So tired, Adam. I don't remember being this tired.
I actually got a second wind. I was the tired one coming into this. I got a second wind here.
I always get my second wind at 1 a.m. It's terrible. I'm in a terrible sleep pattern.
Yeah. All right.
Pain and panic of the week. Adam, you give me your pain first.
All right, my pain's the group.
Oh, Adam, hold on.
Oh, you cut me
We did
off.
not go over Texans Raiders really at all.
No.
That was my upset pick. I almost got right, a 14.5 underdog.
Got the cover. You did it before this year.
I feel like I should get some more points because it was so gigantic. But anyways,
a cover's easier.
I'm saying if they won.
If you won, you would have got 7 points.
I think I should have gotten 14. You know what we should do next year? We should do you get as many points
we could do that. We could do that.
Above or below the spread that they are.
But let's talk about this. Looking at our records, you're 6-8 with 2 covers, which is solid in upset picks. I think that's pretty solid. Me, I'm 9-7. I'm having a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9-7, 39 points. Have some decent ones in there. So yeah.
Well, I called it. I said the Raiders, are coming off their worst game. I think they're going to get something on offense. And I said, I know the Texans defense is good, but I said they're in a classic letdown after a big win. They're going to look at the Raiders, know they suck, and I thought they were just going to have a sloppy letdown game. And if the Raiders didn't throw a pick six to start the game, the Raiders would have won.
Yeah. Man, maybe they would have.
Shout out Cammy Fairbairn, though. He is awesome in fantasy. Indoors the whole way. I said on the show. Put up, I think, 15 today. Just my hero right there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out the Saints killing the Jets for fantasy football defense. I think they got 19 points or 18 points.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Great win. Tyler Shuck, QB1 of the future.
Yeah, and then next week, Adam, I have the Broncos, both my leagues. Broncos against the third-string quarterback on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I will be watching. And then, honestly, Stranger Things. That's the Christmas Day plan is it's going to be,
Oh, we did that whole draft for you to say, I'm just going to watch Stranger Things.
Listen, it's going to be Stranger Things, yeah.
Wow.
I'm not going to be able to watch much, the next few days, so I kind of have to get it all in. But,
wow.
Right, now let's get to the pain and panic.
All right. My pain of the week is the group of 5 in college football. It didn't go well for them. It did not. James Madison covered, so let's give them a lot of credit. They covered the spread. But it's not looking good. I don't... everyone's they should put in a threshold, they have to be in the top 15 to get in. I said, don't do that, because then the committee would just intentionally put them at 16.
Yeah.
That's just what they would do. So, last year, people are making a big deal about this. Last year, Boise State deserved to be in. They deserved it, and they got in, which I thought was worth it. But, this year, I understand the argument. I think it's just going to end up where the group of 5 is going to have their own playoff, where it's, maybe 8 teams of theirs, the 5 conference champions, 3 at large, and they'll play their own playoff. And then the Power 4 would do their own thing. I think that's where it's going to end up going, especially now that Notre Dame's basically guaranteed a spot every year. Their next year it changes that Duke would have got in this year because the Power 4 champions automatically get in. You made a good point. There is no way to do it. And, if you need proof, the basketball tournament's 68, and the 69th team complains every year that they didn't get in. It's you really didn't have much of a chance to win it, but okay, dude. Because making the tournament means something. But, yeah, I don't know. I said, I'd just go to 16, make it all Power 4, just so you get everyone plays, no buys, just play it every week. Right after conference championships, you just play into it. And see what happens, because I think, sadly, because I like the group of 5, I think it's fun football, but it's because, it's different, it's, one of the sides where you get, true college football, where it's, the kids want to be there, they want to play, they're playing for football, they're not playing for money, they're not playing, I'm going to go to the, some of the guys I'm not, playing to go to the NFL, I'm playing just because I love playing football, I'm at the school I want to be at, and I'm having a good time, so I think it's sometimes fun to watch, plus, action on Tuesday nights. There's not much sports on Tuesday nights in October, so that's a big time to be watching football, especially when it gets to November and the snow's just pouring down, and we get freaking Bowling Green playing Northern Illinois, and it's let's go. But yeah, so I think tough loss, tough break for the group of 5, and we'll see where it goes, but I think it's just going to end up next year they're going to be in it, but after that I think it's going to be you're no longer welcome, guys. Sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah. College. You said a lot of words and abbreviations. I don't know what they mean, but
you know what the MAC is, the Mid-American Conference. Well, you and I watched some action at Pickles on Tuesday night. By that I mean it was on TV, and I was like, "Holy crap! It's a blizzard!"
There were so many times where you would say something, and I would just be about a college game or something. I'd be like,
Yeah, no, but
different. It's different language to me, Adam.
It's sad because I like the group of 5, and some teams are good, but and that's my fear is once we get rid of them, then all the teams are going to get left out. Even the good ones are going to be discriminated against. So,
all right, well, I'll go to the NFL. The Lions fans are just completely devastated right now. You lose a heartbreaker to the Steelers, and this probably signifies the end of the Lions' chance to win a Super Bowl. This window has closed. They're probably going to have to retool. This year we kind of saw it where Ben Johnson left, the offensive line lost some pieces, and we're like, let's see how the Lions do. And we learned they're a 500 team, maybe slightly above 500, barely, as currently constructed. Their defense always has injuries, I get that, but their offense, even as good as it was at times, wasn't great like it used to be. They weren't that dominant team anymore. They need to figure something out. I think you could still keep, obviously, Amon-Ra and Gibbs and Laporta, Penei Sewell. Besides that, I don't really know what's staying. You could probably keep Dan Campbell, too, because I think he's a good coach, but you need someone else just to, as the coordinators, that can be creative like Ben Johnson was, to use these really fun weapons that they have. But they could not get the right pieces this year. Also, on top of this, you lost to the Steelers, a game you should have won. If you won this game, you could have still actually made the playoffs realistically.
You could have won the division.
You could have still won the division, technically speaking. You know, the Bears and Packers don't have an easy schedule. And now it's like, well, you choked a game away. And you know what's the saddest part is Jared Goff's best play of his career ends up not counting.
Yeah.
He gets that fumble from Amon-Ra. He runs and dives into the end zone to what would have been a game-winning touchdown as the clock expired. Insane. Doesn't count. Lions fans, I just don't see this team winning next year or the year after. I think they're only going to get worse. The only player that is going to get better is Gibbs, but Goff doesn't look great. I think Goff they could keep, but then you're surrounded with so much, and I think a lot of those pieces are going to keep leaving.
Yeah. I'm not going to say they're done, because I think there is maybe a path where they're like the Eagles, where it's like, oh, you hire a really, really good coordinator, and you figure it out and maybe make a run, because I don't think they're like the talent's still there. Like they're missing Sam Laporta, like he'll come back. They've drafted really well the last few years, so I think you gotta maybe think they could add players to this. But yeah, I mean it's definitely. I think the worry would be what's Jared Goff's ceiling, and if they've already seen it. And that's,
I think Jared Goff would know his ceiling, and I think you can only win surrounded by an incredible team, and I don't think the team's going to be as incredible the next few years. Yeah. Also, look at the division. The Bears are young; they're going to get better. The Packers, I don't think are going to get worse anytime soon.
They're the young. The Packers are the youngest team in the NFL.
Yeah, they have Jordan Love, young quarterback. They have Micah Parsons just got there. I know he's going to hurt some next year, but they're still a really good team. The Vikings are the team that you could talk yourself into being bad, and that's only if J.J. McCarthy continues to be bad at football. So if J.J. McCarthy figures it out, then that's...
And he's played the last 2.5 games, he was really good.
Yeah, if J.J. McCarthy can figure stuff out, that's maybe the toughest division of football, and the Lions are on the decline, and every other team is either staying the same or getting better.
What do you think about J.J. hitting the gritty today? Again, in his coach's face. Hit the gritty again. Boy, I love it. I love J.J. McCarthy. I don't know why. There's something about that man that gets me going in a good way.
Not for me. Not for me. But yeah, I would just like, if you're a Lions fan, what is your hope for the future? Like, what are you banking on improving?
Well, like I said, in the NFL, it's one of the nice sports for fans where you're never that far away. Because it's always like one-score games. Like, oh, the ball bounces the other way. Plus, like, the talent is somewhat, like, dispersed. So, like, there's always the chance, like, that you're, like, no one's ever that far away. There are a couple retool, quick moves, changes, and then you're right back where you need to be. Like, the receivers are going to be back, I think, Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Laporta, I think, is going to be back next year. Gibbs, Montgomery probably going to be back. And, like, if it's not Montgomery, I'm sure they can find a running back to fill that void, whether it be draft someone in, like, the 4th round to be the backup to Gibbs. So they're going to have guys back. I think it's about retooling the offensive line, getting that better. They can lean on it like they used to. And then their defense.
If they can just control the clock like they used to and run the ball like they used to, that was their greatest strength.
Yeah, and I don't think their defense is bad, but sometimes they get caught on the field a lot. So, like, they have talent. Like, Hutchinson's still over there on the defensive side of the ball. Brian Branch. Like, so, like, they're not
they always also have the worst injuries to their secondary every year.
Well, plus, can we talk about the fact that Dan Campbell is so aggressive? But he is the best punter in the league sitting on the bench. Like, get rid of him then, dude. Like,
they have a good field goal kicker. They have a good punter, and they just don't use them.
They never use them. It's ridiculous. It's just sad. Logan Cook was really good today.
I like being aggressive when the team is good, but this team this year was not nearly as good. The offensive line, I think they have to retool, especially.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the case for the Lions to be better next season is they're going to have an easier schedule, being the third team in the division and the first. They had the roughest one.
Hey, there's a They could maneuver this really well. If the Vikings somehow win out and the Lions lose out.
Yeah.
Actually, if the Lions, I think the Vikings are at 7 wins. So if they both get to 8 and 9 and the Lions lose that game to the Vikings.
Hold on, I could do it. Ready? Week 16, we already had the Lions.
Vikings. If the Lions lose to the Vikings,
so week 17, we give the Vikings the win.
Yes.
Then week 18, let's say.
Give the Packers the win for the sake of argument.
If they lose next week, the Vikings would just pass them.
Yeah, that's what I said. They could get the 4th place schedule in the NFC.
This was like the Niners. This is the Niners.
They could do the Niners thing, and they could just maneuver. Now they won't because technically they're still alive for a playoff spot. So
Week 18, Vikings are going to lose to the Packers probably.
Yes,
but the Lions are
lose
at
to the Bears.
Chicago, and they have nothing to play for.
They would have nothing to play for. The one thing is they've done this before and they played.
Dan Campbell's not resting his guys.
Well, because remember when they beat the Packers to end Aaron Rodgers' tenure in Green Bay and eliminate them from the playoffs. So, like, they're going to play. But
they're going to play them, but it would be fun. I think that the only case you could say is they're going to have an easier schedule next year, and you could talk yourself into that. But they're not the same contender that they were 2 years ago when it seems like they had to be your pick to win the NFC. Because then they just got injury luck didn't go their way.
You got to think the Eagles could be better next year just because they're the Eagles. They're loaded. You could think like you're going to talk yourself into the NFC West teams like the Rams, probably still going to be good. The Seahawks probably still going to be good. The Niners are going to be good. The NFC South, like how far like the Bucks off? Like are the Panthers going to build off
year 2? MVP candidate.
Exactly. The Panthers, are they going to build off this year? Maybe have a good year next year. Like are the Commanders going to bounce back?
Yeah.
The NFC East. Where are the Cowboys and the Giants? Giants are really young. The Cowboys don't seem that far off. They can get a defense. Like, there's so many teams in the NFC that would be tough. And then the NFC North just being loaded is not making it easy either.
We could probably do like a whole video just on like the case for every team to be better next season. And I think
why you should want to be in last place. Last place scheduled next year, guys. Yeah. Think about it.
You're right. The Commanders could be really good from, last season.
Yeah.
Cowboys are probably going to be better if they have any better of a defense. They could actually be better.
Get a pass rusher. How about that?
Get a pass rusher.
They haven't had one of those in ages.
If I'm not joking, the Cowboys just have a decent defense. They'd probably be a playoff team right now.
Yeah, imagine.
Niners would be better. Seahawks are going to be the same, and Rams are going to be the same.
I just can't think. Imagine if the Cowboys had a pass rusher.
I know. I
haven't seen one there in a long time.
They should trade their defensive tackles at Kenny Clark and Quinton Williams to get a pass.
You think like a guy like Micah Parsons is available?
The Packers never trade Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that's a good point. They
can't
never
trade that guy.
Yeah,
entering his prime.
I know. How do you trade him? No. Even coming off an ACL, can't trade him.
It'd be really funny if they traded for like Myles Garrett.
Oh, Myles Garrett would probably say, "Nah, I won't go there. You trade me somewhere else. That'd be okay." Howie Roseman would find a way, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Fit him in the Eagles. Oh.
Well, all right, let's fly through the last one. Panic button, Adam.
All right, Dolphins. Dolphins are my panic. And the reason I'm panicking, Tua. Tua's the panic because they own $56 million next year. So if you cut them, you're going to have $56 million in dead money. And you have to get a new GM. And what new GM's going to come in knowing like, just get rid of $56 million right away. Let's just do that and let's start from scratch. Like, so I think it'll be interesting to see. Like, Mike McDaniel's probably gone, and we'll see what they do. But I think the panic's going to be whoever they hire as the new GM. How do they manage it? Ownership's kind of been a mess for a while for them, even dating back to like the Brady free agency. So the Brian Flores situation, like where do they go, like management, coaching wise? So like it's completely off the field, but like how do they manage this situation? Because Tua kind of has them in cap hell a little bit, and how the next GM is going to have to handle that.
Yes, he does. Mine, it's not a big panic, but a little panic. The Broncos. Every week I'm just looking at the Broncos like, what's their problem? Like when they lose a game, I'm like, well, their defense allowed a bunch of points, but their defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how can you fix that? How can you
prevent that from happening? Their defense is strong. The Packers moved the ball on them too.
Yeah, so it's like, is the defense just not as good as the defense? I know the defense has been as lights out as earlier this year, and I know they're playing just better offenses too. But like, I don't know, what can they fix? I'm not really sure. So to me, they're just a talented team that's getting these wins, but the vibe doesn't feel right. They're not like dominating these teams. They had some good recent games, but in teams like this, like if the Texans lose, I know the problem. Their offense is terrible.
Yeah.
The Broncos, I'm like, what can they improve on? Really, they have good receivers. They have a good rookie running back. They have Bo Nix, who's obviously your quarterback, and they have what I thought was a good defense. They have a great offensive line and defensive line.
I think they have a really good defense. I think the one thing, and this is going to sound crazy, I think they have a weak secondary.
Just besides Patrick.
Outside
Surtain?
of Patrick Surtain, it's really like Riley Moss has been good, but he's targeted a bunch, and that's just going to happen when you're opposite of Patrick Surtain. But like the Jags expose like their slot coverage with like Parker Washington and being able to attack that. So like once you get off Patrick Surtain, what do they really have? They stop the run really well. They have the best pass rush in the NFL. Like they don't have like Nick Bonito's been really good, but like they don't have like a standout pass rusher. But their pass rush, they get more sacks than any team in the league. So like that's good. But yeah, it's weird. Like I think they're going to be okay. Like they need the 1 seed because that place is really tough to play. Like that place is loud. Like the Jags won there today, but that place gets loud. It's really hard to play there. So
I'm excited. I'm excited, Adam.
Why?
Cam Little, if he plays again, he hit from 73 today.
Yes, he did. And if he would have kicked the ball, if he would have made contact with the ball the way he did on the 73-yarder, he would have made the 75-yarder too. He was just short.
The 75, but on the 73-yard kick, it would have been good for 75.
So I get all this because I'm a Jags fan, but like someone has like a Cam Little fan page, and he's like, he tweets like he's Cam Little, and he goes, "Man, that Broncos defense was so bad, I didn't even get to try for it today." He's like, "I was gonna break the record today." He goes, "I didn't even get to try." Our offense was moving it up and down the field. I was like, chip shots. There's concerns. There's concerns. Also, like I've said this for a while, like their offense can't put it like consistently together. Like they have like stretches where they're just not playing well, and I think that's kind of the key offensively for them. Like they'll get hot. Plus, ever since J.K. Dobbins has gotten hurt, they've really struggled to consistently run the ball.
But Harvey still has moments where he looks good.
Yeah,
maybe it's not as consistent, but he had that breakaway touchdown run today, which was great, and he's a good catcher. So
yeah, but it's just like consistently winning the line of scrimmage, getting the yards you want. They've kind of struggled with that a little bit. We'll see if they're able to get back to that because they'll need that in the playoffs, especially they play in Denver. Like the wind can get wild there. So how they handle that?
RJ Harvey probably gets you 1 when you need 5, but sometimes he gets you 50 when you need 2. But then
he's a rookie running back. He's learning. Like
J.K. Dobbins was probably always getting you 3 yards a carry. So
J.K. Dobbins is so good, but he's never on the field. Feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Also, quick panic. Didn't want to say much on it, but Penn State basketball. They broke my freaking heart today, Chris. They lost by 34 points to Pitt. In Hershey, I almost went, but I was in New York visiting Mac. I almost went, and I would have been. I don't like Pitt, so but tough loss for the Lions. They're young, like they'll get better, but it has not been pretty. But hopefully Mike Rhodes can figure it out. Yeah. You and I both covered the team when Mike Rhodes was the head coach.
We did. It was a fun time.
Micah Shrewsbury also had a tough loss today. They lost to Purdue Fort Wayne. Not a good day for my college basketball.
Purdue Fort Wayne was good last year. They had a bunch of shooters. Good guys there.
Yeah, they my basketball team, because I'm a quiet Notre Dame fan because I have great relationship with Mike Shrewsbury since I covered with him, and I love him. So I kind of pulled for him. Plus, Braden Shrewsbury plays on the team, so kind of pulled for those guys. But, man, my basketball team struggled today. Well, Michigan's looking great, though.
I'm a Purdue Fort Wayne fan. Their coach was awesome. We did a little interview with him, and he just was saying all the funny things. He was downplaying his team a little bit, and they came out and they put up a good fight. So, actually, like
Purdue Fort Wayne's been a solid program for a while. Like, those smaller schools. Like, they've always been pretty fun to watch. Michigan, though, my national championship pick, they are rolling. They play Penn State on my birthday at the Bryce Jordan Center. I probably won't go, but that game could get ugly. Michigan beats everyone by 40. So I think they won today like 102 to 50. Ugh, they're just killing teams.
Well, I think that will do it for our Pain and Panic segments. That will do it for this podcast. We are going to record on Tuesday. I believe we're going to release the episode though on Wednesday.
Christmas Eve. Yep,
on Christmas Eve. Yeah. So we will have an episode on Christmas Eve. We might do like a segment re-release on Christmas, but we'll have, some fun things. We're going to do a naughty nice list. What each team is asking for Christmas, stuff like that.
We'll name athletes as Christmas characters, probably. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I was watching a Christmas movie today. Watching Fred Claus. Hadn't watched it in a while.
Not a Fred Claus fan.
I like it. I like Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn's my boy.
You know what my problem with Vince Vaughn is like, I like him in like 2 things.
Well, one of them better be the one I'm thinking of.
I like him in 2 things, but actually in one of the things, so in Dodgeball, which is a great movie. He's actually like kind of the boring character in that movie. He is. He's the straight man, like the normal person surrounded by craziness. I love him in Wedding
Flu.
Crashers.
Yes, there you go. That's what I was gonna say. He's awesome in Wedding Crashers.
He's awesome.
He's not Owen Wilson. He's not Owen Wilson, but he's awesome.
Actually, I like his character more than Owen Wilson's.
I relate to Owen Wilson's character more. I think that's why. But
I love Owen Wilson's character. Kind of drives me nuts by the end. I'm like, dude,
he does just go after way too much. But I told you,
Owen Wilson's like meltdown through the movie is so bad by the end. Like, if they stopped the movie right when they left the house after the wedding, like, and then they just like kind of quickly brush through the end. But instead they go so long with Owen Wilson becoming depressed and like
I do love when he goes with Chazzy to the graveyard and it's like
so
that's where he drew the line. That's where like this isn't right.
But like him at the wedding by himself and he's like trying to do the shout, he's getting kicked out. It's like, oh my god, it's so hard to watch.
Hey, I'll tell you, if Rachel McAdams let me down like that, I'd do the same thing. Literally, I love that
character
woman.
Knew the mission. He accomplished the mission. You know.
Yeah. The football scene is hilarious. Hot route. Hot route. I don't know what that means.
That's probably his best stuff. I like him in the internship. He's kind of like, you know, when he's older, he starts to get into this weird like role of him being like, what's like, you know, kind of like a loserish type of guy. And like, I don't know, not my favorite trope for him.
Yeah. But now with Fred Claus, I just think it's interesting because you don't see many like Christmas movies like with a true Christmas story with like adult senses and things like that. Like it's always normally about like kid themes and all that. So there's like some adult jokes and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a different feel for a Christmas movie.
Can we do a Christmas movie draft on Tuesday?
I guess. I mean, we run the show. Like there's no time restriction.
I'll talk to the producer, aka us, and we'll do a Christmas movie draft.
If we go 3 hours, we can go 3 hours. I mean, it's
not
just
tonight, but on you know. Tuesday we'll do a Christmas movie draft. Vince Vaughn, he's also in like the breakup movie. Well, he's actually, speaking of Christmas movies, he does Four Christmases. But in every movie he plays some like selfish guy. Mm-hmm. Like he in Couples Retreat, in the breakup, and in whatever, and for Christmas, he's the same character every time of like selfish guy who's kind of the leader of the group, but like likable, but then he's also kind of a jerk who's very selfish, like every single time.
What's one scene you think of? Like when you think Vince Vaughn, what scene pops into your head? I have one in particular.
I think of Wedding Crashers, and it's either for the football scene or when they're at the dinner table.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's what I think of. Honestly.
But no, my Vince Vaughn scene's him with Jennifer Aniston when he goes, "Your sister?" She goes, "She's been through a lot." Yeah, of. Not gonna finish that. I always think of that. I'm like, oh yeah, Vince Vaughn, baby.
I remember I watched that movie and that line was one of the funny lines. I love the scene where he's playing with their date, like he's playing Madden with them or whatever. It's funny.
Yeah. There's also in Dodgeball, you also have the one where lesbian. She's a lesbian. She played softball, dude.
Him blindfolding himself and then like throwing the ball is classic. But I would think of Wedding Crashers at the table would be my like most memorable scene.
That's a good one. I like the one where he's trying to leave the wedding and Owen Wilson's like, not yet. He goes, oh, stage 5, clinger.
Actually, he's in Old School. I like him in Old School.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So Four Christmases we'll talk about in our draft. To me, too realistic. Like bouncing back and forth on the holidays.
We were talking about Mac and I were talking about this because he was talking on the phone with his girlfriend. We're talking about the one like the British people love to watch, Love Actually.
Nah,
it always pops up on like when I'm scrolling through Christmas. It's like Love Actually. I'm like, that's a Christmas movie, and I'm like, oh, I guess it is.
Yeah, I hate it.
I also love when you're scrolling on Disney Plus for their Christmas movies, and like Iron Man 3 pops up. Yeah, and I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I was looking for.
I do. Today I asked my dad. It was Rocky 4 was in the holiday section. I'm like,
yeah,
watch Rocky 4. He's like, sure. I'm like, do you think of it for Christmas? He's like, not at all.
I actually do. It's not that. I think of it for the 4th of July because they always do the Rocky Marathon. But that makes sense because it's America.
Well, actually, in 2007 and 2008, back-to-back movies for Vince Vaughn were Christmas. Fred Claus and Four Christmases. He went through a little phase there.
Yeah.
I like him in Old School. He's in a bunch of other things in little roles. Like, I'm not going to count Anchorman, but I think Dodgeball, I think Old School, and Wedding Crashers are like his 3 movies where I'm like, that's my guy. Everything after that, he kind of just becomes the same, like, and he's like this in Wedding Crashers, but like, fun, likable guy, but then he kind of becomes like a selfish guy, and then as he gets older, becomes like a middle-aged, like midlife crisis kind of guy that's underachieved.
When you think of Christmas, what actor pops into your head?
Actor.
I think it's easy.
Will Ferrell?
No.
Macaulay Culkin?
No. Tim Allen.
Tim Allen? Yeah.
Because not just in Santa Claus, he's also in Christmas with the Cranks.
Not a Christmas with the Cranks fan.
Well, no, I'm just thinking of like doing multiple Christmas like movies, like outside of franchises. Like, because Will Ferrell really only did Elf. Like Macaulay Culkin, of course, did Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
No, Will Ferrell did Spirited with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, he did do Spirited with Ryan
How
Reynolds.
dare you?
They did sing that little song.
But to me, like Will Ferrell as Elf, like his joy perfectly encapsulates Christmas to me.
Yeah, yeah. Like no, like Home Alone. Home Alone or Home Alone 2? We were way off.
I don't want to give away my pick for the draft.
Like, because it's like, it feels like if it was just one, like, 7-hour movie, it'd be one of the best experiences of your life.
The other day, I watched Home Alone 2, then 1, in that order. And then I went to my cousin's house, and then we watched 2, then 1, then 2 again. And it was just like, marathon was just on. And I get trapped in rewatching that thing every time.
I don't know if this is going to be on your list, but Christmas Story. Fan, not a fan.
It is one of the most nostalgic Christmas movies to me. However, I don't actually really enjoy it that much, but there are some segments or scenes that are so iconic. Like licking the pole, dressed up as the rabbit, you're going to shoot your eye out when they're fighting that kid at the school. Like, everything is iconic.
I think it's good. I don't
the leg lamp.
Yes, the lamp. I have the leg lamp in my room. But like, I don't think it's worth every year getting a 24-hour marathon on Christmas. Like, there's other movies I'd love to see on Christmas.
No,
like it's a good movie, but like I could take other movies too.
We'll save this for next week. But my biggest hot take is that Christmas movies, like, we need more good ones.
We have not we haven't had a new one in forever.
I was talking about this, like, the most recent, like, classic, like, actually really good one is Elf, of, like, in terms of when everyone agrees is, like, you must watch. There are some that I like that are newer than that, but, like...
How old's the Polar Express?
I think it's, like, a year after, so maybe it's Polar Express.
Yeah.
But...
I'm trying to think of them, like... Because the new Grinch is horrible.
I hate that
Jim Carrey's, Benedict Cumberbatch's.
Yeah,
They changed too much of the story. They're like riding around on rollerblades. What are we doing?
Right, before, I don't even want to make this its own segment. We're going to save this. There's so much meat left on the bone here. So,
yeah.
If you want to hear us talk more about our Christmas movies...
Oh, one more thing. Just one more thing. This is just a question. Do you like the old, like, claymation stop-motion ones?
I like Rudolph. I don't like the other ones.
You don't like A Year Without a Santa Claus with Heat Miser and Snow Miser?
Yeah, not for me.
I was going to say, that movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Santa Claus Coming to Town's good. Frosty? You like Frosty?
It's classic. It's not my favorite.
That's like drawn animation.
Do you like Jack Frost?
Jack Frost? It's all right. Do you consider
it makes
Rise?
Me cry every time. It's so sad.
Is Rise of the Guardians a Christmas movie?
I'd say yes.
Yeah, because it like goes
if
through all. If
Santa's a character, I'm saying yes.
But is it an Easter movie? Because more of it happens at Easter. But Jack Frost is the main character.
You could honestly argue Easter or Christmas or like any holiday. If the character pops up in the movie and is playing a pivotal role.
The poor Sandman doesn't have his own holiday because he's kind of like the big character in that movie.
Yeah,
he gets his ass kicked.
We'll do a big mega draft. Maybe we'll bring someone else on for Tuesday.
Oh boy, we'll be here for 7 hours. You gonna bring Izzy on?
I was gonna say we could see if Izzy's free.
Izzy might like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Izzy would probably like this one. What else do I have to say before we get out of here?
Nothing. Let's let the audience leave and we'll go to sleep.
No, we should stay up till like 4 a.m.
I do that anyways, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. All right, yeah, I got nothing. I was trying to think that there was something I wanted to say about like college. Well, Penn State plays in the Pinstripe Bowl coming up in Rogers Center South, as I've chosen to call it. But
I'm sure no one's listening that's interested in sports anymore. But
yeah. Rogers Center South, though. I do want to get that out there. We also are calling Yankee Stadium Rogers Center South. The house that Vladdy built. Is what I would like it to be called.
That will do that. We'll leave there maybe some baseball sometime. But join us on. It will be posted Wednesday, I believe.
Christmas Eve. All you gotta say is Christmas
Wednesday.
Eve.
We'll be posting our podcast on Christmas. We'll probably do a segment, but it's going to be part of the podcast. But we'll do a segment of.
Also, just another thing for us to put in there. We'll probably draft at least 5 Christmas songs.
Oh, I'm honestly thinking like more than that.
Yeah, Christmas songs. I was just adding that to the movies. We'll do songs too. Yeah, songs too. I was thinking about songs.
Here's my issue. I don't know the names of half the songs.
Chris, we can look them up. We have laptops.
I know, but it's like you have to listen to so many. And
Chris,
there's so many different renditions of them.
Chris, we're only gonna do like 4 each. It's gonna be
there's so many different renditions of each song that like I don't even know which one is what.
Just pick which one you want.
We'll see. All right. Thank you all for listening. We will see you on Wednesday for our Christmas episode. And if you want to watch your movies episode, we'll do movies again. Because why not, Adam? That'll be on Thursday. But
Amen, brother.
Stay tuned. Follow us on our socials on TikTok and Instagram at Pain and Panic Podcast. And on YouTube Shorts, but you're probably watching this on YouTube anyway, so you know. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.